One of my favourite YouTube channels is a photographer called Sean Tucker. His mix of philosophy and style is what partly inspired me to make these videos and experiment. He focuses on the process of making something, not what camera to buy or lens to choose, but how to stay authentic and find what makes us tick. He recently made a video on creative ruts and how our own perfectionism is often our downfall. There's this reliance on waiting for the perfect weather or the perfect opportunity to go out and make something. But in reality, things are never perfect. We need to give ourselves room to breathe, room to try things and to play. I'd hoped to film and release multiple videos over the last few months. Through a combination of doubt, laziness and unrealistic expectations, I've made almost nothing. Any skill takes time to develop, and producing videos is no different. You have to walk before you can run. Acknowledging something won't be as we like at the start is not easy, and putting time into our weaknesses and embracing it can be a scary space to work in. It's much easier to hide from insecurities and to amplify them. The presence of social media makes being ourselves even more difficult. With everything exposed, it's difficult to release something that isn't our best work. All we see is the highlights of people's lives, and it spreads into our own life. I even find it with parkour training. I'll often like a movement, but if it's not impressive, I'll not bother filming it. If we don't think something will be entertaining or engaging, we shy away from it, rather than embracing what makes us feel good. Setting this expectation aside and just playing and exploring may start off as a seemingly useless movement, but over time this movement progresses, and this playfulness opens new doors to explore. It's only when the time and space to explore these movements is given that any authenticity can be found. I think part of the issue is our fear of being judged, especially when trying something new. The learning process for most things is scary and vulnerable, not helped by training alone or in public, so it's no surprise we shy away from it. I used to love parkour progression videos on YouTube. Seeing how people started and what they did will always inspire me more than seeing just the outcome. But because of social media and likes and all these expectations, I think we're more fearful of sharing the journey. People just want to see the thing, the end result, whatever that may be. The expectation of creating something great makes us reach too high, rather than starting small and letting ideas develop. It comes back to this idea of perfectionism and not settling for anything less. In this world of outputs and success, we often forget that even the biggest and best ideas come from someone just playing around or trying something new. I'm going to touch briefly on self-efficacy because I think it plays a part in the likelihood we try new things. Self-efficacy is basically our perceived belief in whether we can create the outcome we want and how controllable that is. It's not specifically if we have the skill set to complete it, but our own belief that we can or can't. Lots of incredibly skillful people will avoid challenges they deem unachievable, when in reality they might be the perfect person to do it. Unsurprisingly, it's been found that successful experiences raise self-efficacy, whilst perceived failures will lower it. It's also fairly situation specific, which makes sense. If I've experienced a lot of success doing handstands, I'm much more likely to believe I can do it. A lot of negative experiences doing Kong Prees will create a different perception for that movement, and so on. However, these specific experiences create a general set of expectations that might influence our self-efficacy when faced with new tasks. Success in one area can spread and raise self-efficacy in other areas. Maybe this is why so many Successful and famous people move into different avenues, going from acting to singing to YouTube, for example. They've achieved so much success, why would they not be able to replicate that somewhere else? So relating this back to trying new things in parkour and life, starting something new when we doubt ourselves is no easy feat. Why bother starting if you don't believe you can do it? Perhaps the answer to this is not to see experiences as inherent success or failure. I'm going to talk more about this in another video, but starting something new doesn't have to be perfect. We don't need to succeed straight away. We don't even need to show anyone. Just give it a go. On the way, maybe the progress will feel good. It might raise personal belief, and it'll motivate more action. Reframing perception to focus on exploring rather than black and white outcomes could help give the kickstart for something new and something positive. If you've got this far into the video, I really appreciate the support and hope it provides a little bit of value. Sometimes it takes someone else saying what we're thinking to get us going. Drop a comment below for any video suggestions and things I can improve for the next one. Hopefully, it will be coming soon.
That's my first go at all of them. And there's one rail that's wobbling. There's one